Shut up and sit down.
Of Mice and Men Loneliness Essay. Essay on Of Mice and Men Loneliness for students and children in English. The part of life that can never be avoided is loneliness, which is the major struggle faced by several individuals. The communication and companionship lack with other people can cause loneliness. This affects the entire behavior of a person greatly. There are a few cases where some individuals attempt at ending their loneliness and some become completely bitter, gloomy, and helpless. The primary theme in the novel Of Mice and Men is loneliness. Loneliness in this novel is represented as the most complex feeling that frequently makes the behavior of an individual dangerous. Steinbeck's characters include Candy, Crooks, Curly's wife, and so on to demonstrate the period that gradually resulted in the loneliness and extreme behaviors of the characters. One of the most important female characters in each novel is Curly's wife in Of Mice and Men. She is Curly's wife, an extremely violent ranch worker who demonstrates his strength by getting into fights with the other workers present there. Moreover, he gradually decides to marry a woman who is elegant and beautiful. Besides, the boss was his father. When the Great Depression occurred, it was common for the husbands to have all the control in the house. Thus, Curly also had complete control over his wife. He also had control over the other workers present on the ranch. He had also restricted the other workers to communicate with his wife. In need of attention, friends, and acknowledgement, Curly's wife decides to make use of her elegance and status as the wife of Curly to her benefit. Besides, her personality started to change and become more extreme gradually. This new behavior generated the feeling of disgust and harassment in people surrounding her, which is why she started getting ignored and alienated. People referred to her as a tramp and also used several other offensive and insulting names. This resulted in the formation of feelings like loneliness and powerlessness in her. Curly's wife, normally talked to regularly, was Lenny, since he had the least knowledge regarding her present situation. In the barn, she spent a few of her final moments with Lenny. She realized she was finally recognized and listened to. That was the first time in the novel where she accepted that she had never liked Curly from the beginning. However, she eventually became weak, and this resulted in her passing away. The oppression against women is represented through the unjust death of Curly's wife. It also showcased a few changes that could occur to someone's behavior after one's identity is taken away in society. Numerous other factors led to the isolation, alienation, and discrimination of people. Some of these factors also include ableism and ageism. On the ranch, there existed one of the oldest ranch workers known as Candy. He had lost one of his arms. He had faced long discrimination and was made fun of all cause of his old age and disability. It represents a few of the major factors, that is, ableism and ageism in society.